What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to KvltDeFi. This is the channel where we bring in the latest and greatest in innovations in tech in decentralized finance, more specifically on Pulse Chain, and even more specifically in the DevJacob ecosystem on Pulse Chain. You might have noticed, if you're here, that yes, we have changed the timing of our streams. That is because I originally set up the live streams really because I wanted to try and cater for the American audience specifically, you know, because that's kind of where most of us are, if you like. One of the things which I kind of noticed that even if I start at midnight my time, it's still sort of early evening, like late afternoon, early evening for a lot of our American brethren. So still a lot of people weren't really available to be doing it. But I did notice that people on X are very, very active around this time. Even a lot of the extended audience, if you like. So I thought, hey, we'll try a few episodes or a few weeks doing it around this time, right? And really we'll sort of see where we go. It's really all about analytics, right? It's always about analytics. I can tell you that the replay gang numbers on these streams are actually pretty healthy. So we know that there's always a bunch of people around, you know, sort of later on to watch them. So it really doesn't kind of matter when we do the stream, to be honest. Obviously, if we're doing live streaming with a guest, then it'll be at a time suitable for both of us. And again, like I say, a lot of our guests are also on American time. So those will continue as normal. Whenever we do a commission meeting, those will be, again, like normal. But it's really just about this, because for me, to do this on a Tuesday, obviously, if I start at midnight, it kind of throws off the whole day. Purely because, you know, I need to make sure I'm bright-eyed and bushy-tailed at midnight. Usually, sometimes it means I'll tend to have a nap in the afternoon. And for the amount of engagement and stuff that we get actually on the lives, it's kind of not really worth it, because again, it throws back the Wednesday morning as well for me. So we will just change it and we'll see how it goes, right? We are going to be delving into all of the Jacob ecosystem projects because we've seen some pretty exciting things happen in the last week, really. Obviously, we have some things are getting closer, some things haven't really moved, which we'll also be talking about. But really, it's just about that. So if you are watching this on YouTube, thanks very much. Please do me a favor and share it around on your socials. If you are watching this on X, please like, obviously, subscribe to the profile, and retweet this around, please, right? Retweet it around. I know that there's a bunch of you out there. So let's see if we can get some people normal time on this. If you're watching this on Twitch, thanks very much. The numbers are actually growing on Twitch. Okay, I was starting to see that. So I was a little bit, I don't want to say disheartened, right? Because obviously starting something, you have to start from zero and really sort of build it. And but all the numbers across the board are encouraging, right? We like that. Something which I see in the analytics quite a lot, especially on YouTube, is the amount of impressions that these videos get, and the impression numbers are pretty good. Okay, so obviously the more people that get to see it, the more people that will actually watch it, and the more people that watch it, the more people we can force our little corner of crypto Pulse Chain onto everyone that watches, right? Let's jump into the chat here quickly. We have Morehex says good morning. Hey, good morning. It is now just afternoon for me, but that is absolutely perfect. It's a pretty cold day outside. You know, winter is definitely on its way, but it's quite sunny today, actually, hence the fact that I don't have the overhead light on. I don't need it. I think it's pretty cool. Morehex says, which pegs first, algo or PDI? That's the question. All right, well, considering the fact that we have the sacrifice open for PUSD algo is because we need to start off with a super thick liquidity, right? The super thick liquidity, pretty much through the stability miners, gets us at a peg straight away, right? So we start off at the peg, and it's about keeping the peg. So realistically, it's PUSD algo all the way. If you're watching this and you don't know anything about PUSD algo, if you're, you know, you can have a look in the description below, for example, that has a link there. And if you're watching this on X, you can visit my profile, and the pinned link on my profile is for PUSD algo. Basically, PUSD algo is a true algorithmic stablecoin that basically the team, Jacob and the team, believe that they have cracked the code when it comes to algorithmic stablecoins, right? And when we had the working prototype that was active on chain, it really worked, right? That peg was absolutely kept perfect. So they believe that they've really done it, right? But in order to obviously launch it successfully, it needs super thick liquidity, right? It's a stablecoin. It needs super thick liquidity. So there is a sacrifice open for that. again, if you're watching this and you don't know, if you want to participate in a sacrifice, there is a 20% referral link, 20% bonus referral link in my description below, and also on X. Basically, if you sacrifice, you get a referral link, which you can send around to your friends, right? That referral link is anywhere between 11 and 20% bonus, right? The highest you can get is 20. That is the referral link that I have. So if you click on mine, whatever you sacrifice, you will get a 20% bonus on top of that. If you sacrifice more than $1,000, then you also get a secondary bonus, which is done through an RNG, a randomness generator, and that will be between 1.01 up to a 2x on top of that, right? So the way I like to explain it to people really is, if you were to sacrifice $5,000, for example, then if you clicked on my link, you will get a 20% bonus on top of that, right? So that turns your 5 into 6 straight away. And then because you've sacrificed more than $1,000, you have really the potential to get, if you're lucky enough to get up to the 2x on top of that, then you can turn that 6 into 12, right? So realistically, you can turn $5,000 into $12,000 really, really, really quickly. Okay, so that's that on PUSD algo. There are a lot of videos out there. I'm pretty sure if you just go on YouTube and type in PUSD algo or pulsechain USD.io, you will see some of the interviews that Jacob has done, some of the AMAs in the past. There is a very, very good one on Superman's channel, Hex Token. So the channel is literally Hex Token channel on YouTube. If you go to his playlist in there, you will see he has done an AMA with Jacob. It's really, really good. It tells everything about PUSD algo, and basically he has broken that down into sections. Okay, PUSD algo really is touted that it's basically an algorithmic stablecoin which fixes all the problems that Luna had, right? And remember, Luna did, from its bottom to its top, it did 1.6 million%, right? That's 160,000x from bottom to top. Obviously, the way Luna was set up, that it had, in order to try and keep its peg, it would sell different assets, and it basically had a mint function, which it minted itself into infinity. It was just a downward death spiral, and it just wiped it out completely. Okay, and we saw the damage that all that had. But so getting an algorithmic stablecoin right is obviously one of the biggest innovations in all of crypto. I believe personally that when this product comes out, when when the team shows people what it can do and exactly how it works, I think it's going to be hands down a flagship product for Pulsechain, right? That's number one. I think number two is going to be the type of product that gets forked from Pulsechain to other blockchains because it works, right? If you think about that just in marketing terms, when the entirety of crypto see an algorithmic stablecoin that works, that's really, really working, and if they find out that it's come from Pulsechain, there will be eyes on Pulsechain. When they find out that it's from our beloved team over here on Pulsechain, they're going to look at all of the other different protocols under that dev team, right? Which means that number go up for pretty much everything, right? And we're talking about number go up. We will talk about something very juicy in a second, right? Jump into the chat here. We've got Rodrigo in the house. Let's get Predict launched soon. What about all Jacob products on one website? Yes. Okay. We'll address that right now. So with the casino projects, right? So with BNB Pot, with Pulse Pot, and with Pulse Predict, they're all technically under one umbrella. Okay, we just call them basically the casino projects, right? There is a plan to bring all of that under one roof, right? It's already pretty much done, right? It's called onchain.bet. Onchain.bet is basically going to have all of the different casino projects. You can literally play with across all different blockchains as soon as Chainlink get their CCIP out, and there's a few other things I can't really tell you, right? But it's going to be really big, and it's going to be really important, and it's going to have a lot of eyes, right? Now, if we think about it just from a tech point, all the casino projects and games and stuff that Jacob develops really are the kind of world firsts, because it's true decentralization, right? If you think about the casino projects themselves, it's, there's no signups, there's no logins. You don't have to send your money into a deposit account and then you can play through that deposit account. And then if you are on another casino project and you win big, you kind of have to be sure that that casino is actually going to pay you out your money, right? And there are untold stories out there. There's hundreds and if not thousands of stories out there of people that win big in online casinos and they just don't get paid. For whatever reason, the casino just doesn't pay them. And where is the recourse for that, right? Who are you going to complain to? So when you look at our casino project, it's really players versus players and smart contracts. That's it. On-chain or PulsePot or BNB pot or Predict does not hold your money, right? There is no house. We're not the house. It's literally the holders of the tokens technically are the house, because they're the ones that benefits from all the games that are being played. Okay, so when on-chain comes out, and we don't have an exact timeline for that yet, right? Because obviously Mafia is kind of first, and when it does come out, though, it's going to raise some eyebrows. There's going to be a lot of people watching, right? There's going to be really a lot of people watching, a lot of people interested. So as I'm very fond of saying, right, I'm not a financial advisor. This is absolutely not financial advice. But if you're a betting man or woman, why would you not want to hold a token that has already proven that it can shoot up literally in hours, in days, right? It can do serious numbers, right? Only 1 million total supply, which is deflationary, because all the fees that are generated from the game go back to buying and burning the tokens from the DEX forever, right? And this code is going to be on chain forever. Is basically for as long as the appetite is there for people playing the games, these tokens are being burnt. They're being burnt, right? Right now, they're an absolute steal, in my opinion, right? And we've already seen, actually, I'll show you a chart in a minute, but we've already seen, even in the last week, things are starting to make a real move to the upside, right? We'll have a look at that. And then we have Retrotastic says, nice to see you, not normally able to catch you. Thanks very much. That's exactly why I wanted to do this, right? I wanted to change it around a bit and see what the analytics look like, see if we get a bunch of people on here, and thanks very much, we have, right? So I want to show you something, right? I want to show you this. Now, let's have a little look, see here. This is PulsePot, right? PulsePot so far has burned nearly 5%, right? So 4.97%. That's basically 4.97% of all the tokens that will ever exist are gone, right? They're just gone. They're gone out of existence forever. And this is just going to continue to burn as long as people play the games, right? Now, if we look at the jackpot, right, I think the jackpot is kind of our wheelhouse, literally, where it goes. People are constantly playing on this. We have done 61,763 different rounds of jackpot have been played since we started, right? Jackpot, honestly, is just, I mean, right now it's clearly dead. As soon as I do it, it's dead. But people are playing this game constantly, right? We saw some really big numbers, really big bets coming up here last week. There's been a hell of a lot of stuff going on, and we can see now. This is the one that I kind of really wanted to show you, right? If we look at this chart, which is right here, this is basically what PulsePot has done in the last week, right? We start to see a hell of a lot of buys right now. If we look right here, okay, let's do it from this bottom down here. So basically, PulsePot has done, look at that, 90% in the last week, right? In the last week, we've seen a hell of a lot of buys coming in, right? So my advice, which is not financial advice, this is just me, a guy on the internet talking to you. I really believe that that you don't have enough PLSP token. I believe that you don't have enough BNB token, and I believe you don't have enough Predict token. Okay, one way to get these tokens, pretty much, you can earn these tokens by interacting with the game and actually playing the game. And by playing the game, if you're a holder, obviously, you're helping everyone grow their own bags, right? You're helping everyone grow bags, not just yourself. You're boosting everything. And if you, here we go, and by playing the games, you're burning the token out of existence. You're obviously in a chance to be winning some money, right? Because it's basically not a casino. And outside of that, you're burning this token like no one's business, right? And obviously, this is the type of thing that we want people to know about. We want people to be looking at this, and we want people to be really going after this type of stuff. You know, it really does make sense. Okay, so that is kind of PulsePot, right? I just wanted to show that boost, right? So it's basically on a 1x in the last week, and the buys are coming in thick and fast, right? We saw as well, actually, last week. So that was in the last week. But last week we saw a buyer come in on the BNB pot side, and they bought, I think, about $2,000 worth of tokens, and they got quite a big bag. I think they got nearly 6,000 tokens. And if we remember, BNB pot had its all-time high. I think it was around 21. I think it was around $21, right? So basically, that's $100,000 buy at that, at that stage. And is it coming back? Of course, it's coming back, right? It's coming back as soon as on-chain starts doing its thing and starts to get out there to let everybody know what's happening with it all, right? So if you really want to have a look at that, right, bnbpot.io, pulsebot.io, or postpredict.io, right? There are going to be new matches and stuff coming up for betting. We saw that we had the Mike Tyson fight recently on PostPredict. I know there's Tyson Fury and Usyk. That fight is going to be coming up soon. That will also be on there, and there will be a bunch of other stuff. If it's a thing that there's a tournament or there's a game or a match or a fight or whatever it is coming up that you think might actually get some interest, from the community, and you'd like to have a flutter on it yourself, let us know. Right? Jump into the Telegrams. You can jump in basically into any of our Telegrams and ask questions in there. We have a really good bunch of people. If you want to jump into Telegrams, I will share this banner down here and you can see it. Okay, so if you want to jump into the Mafia Telegrams, they're here. If you want to jump into the BNB pot or Postpot or PostPredict, just we have so many Telegram groups. They're all over the place, but you will find us through. All you have to do is join one, and you'll be able to find us through that. Just ask questions, okay? Now, I want to talk about Mafia because since doing my stream last week to this week to change it around, I've been a very busy boy, right? And when I say very busy, I mean I have been smashing the pavement. I've hit the pavement, and I am speaking to a bunch of people. I've made quite a few friends in the crypto world in the last week, right? And I am talking to them all about Mafia, right? I'm talking about Mafia, what Mafia can do, where Mafia is going, what we're doing, and the fact that there's so many ways to make money in Mafia. Is absolutely crazy, right? So many ways, right? You literally, if you don't really want to play the game, as in dedicate your time into playing the game, what can you do to make money in Mafia? Okay, well, you can buy the token and sit on it, right? Buy the token and sit on it and watch it explode, right? That is just the Mafia token itself. There are going to be bullets coming out. There are going to be health tokens coming out, right? Again, all with their own LPs on DEX, and you can absolutely, trade those around too if you want, right? So there is that. There is also, if you want to earn like passive income, if you like, right? If you want to earn like auto compounding interest every day, you can do that. I think it's up to 2%. Wow, up to 2% is pretty good, right? And so that's by staking your Mafia. If you want to stake a Mafia in a family bank, right? So it makes sense to create your character. You can see down here in this banner when it rolls along. You can create a character in Mafia for 2,000 Mafia tokens. On BNB, that is around 50 cents. And on Postchain, it's around $1.50. Okay, so that's to get your character. Technically, that's your only barrier to entry to playing this game. 2,000 Mafia tokens, right? So 50 cents or $1.50, depending on the chain. Once you're in and the game goes live, you can use that character just to go around and do various little heists, whatever you can do, right? Whatever you want to do, whether it's, go and do some robberies or go and do some smuggling or steal cars or whatever you want to do in the game. You can do all of that and you will earn, if you're successful, right? You can earn money from doing that. So basically, for investing the $1.50, you can just start earning money. If it's a thing you want to start rising up through the ranks and start to earn some real juicy money, which we'll talk about in a second, then I would suggest you start a family or join a family, right? If you wanted to, for example, start a family, you start a family, get a bunch of friends. What you do is you go and you can open some of the crates inside to build up your inventory. You need to build up your own worth, right? And that is done through how many weapons you have, how many bullets you have, in-game cash, what sort of security you have. So, you can get bodyguards, maybe you get some cars or planes or any of that sort of thing. The higher you rank up your character, the more the game opens up to you. So for example, if you just literally create a character for 2,000 Mafia and you just sit on it and you don't have any inventory, for example, if you don't have a gun or bullets, doing a heist might not be very successful, okay? If you have, you don't go into a bank if you have no inventory at all, right? That opportunity just won't be available to you. So you have to rank up your character in order to do some of the bigger heists, which pay you a little bit more, okay? So you need to invest in your character so that your character is able to pull money out for you. By joining a family or starting a family, you're basically pooling resources. to take over territories. Okay, this is when it starts to get really juicy. Now we're getting to the good stuff. Right, the good stuff is when you can get your family and say, okay, we are going to do an organized smuggling route. We're going to set up a smuggling route for any of our various illicit substances, whatever it is, whether it's alcohol, whether it's narcotics, whether it's, I don't know, maybe this the tobacco or something, tobacco running. But then you do that as a team. And by doing it as a team, the family will benefit, right? The family also benefits from owning land. You as an individual player, as a one player, you can also buy land in this game, right? Again, the land crates are going to be coming soon with the map update, which is going to be coming really, really soon, okay? So I hope all you existing players out there are ready for the map update because it is coming. And if you are still on the fence about joining the game, I suggest you get in and join the game now, because obviously just by opening a land crate, you might be very lucky. You might open a land crate which happens to be in a great territory. You might open with an existing hotel already on that, and by having that existing infrastructure on your land tile, you're going to be earning interest, city inflation interest, every single day. Okay, so it makes sense to do that too. If you build up your inventory and you have doubles or triples or quadruples of certain items and you don't want them, you know, you don't feel that you need them, you can go and sell them on the in-game marketplace immediately. There are people buying and selling on the in-game marketplace all the time, like right now. Right now, some people are actually making pretty good money from doing this, okay? And it's exactly the same with the land tiles. If you were to open some land tiles and you get some really good choice locations through the randomness generator, you can choose to sell those to people that want them, right? You can choose to sell them to other players that might have an idea or a strategy that they need that land tile. It might be that some of the families are going after that territories, and the families might buy it off you. If it's a thing that you don't want to sell them and some of the other families want them, there is an opportunity for the family to come and maybe take them if you're not going to play the game and negotiate. Okay, this is a killer be killed game. And it's going pretty well so far. Okay, now I will have a look down here again in the chat. We have a few more people in here. Lord Monty, you smiled. Hello, Dummy mate. He says, I'm a bit late to the chat, but hey, gang. Owen says, thank you for the follow. Alex Henderson, yeah, okay. Alex Henderson says, hello, hope you don't mind me reaching out to you directly. Recently came across your Twitch channel. I want to discuss an exciting opportunity with you. Okay. Do you know what you do? Hit me up on X, right? It's on X, it's KvltDeFi, KvltDeFi. My DMs are open. Hit me up on X. If you want to hit me up on Telegram, it's the same, KvltDeFi, and let's do it over that way, okay? And then Logic Blast is here. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? So thanks very much for joining. Yeah, so that was pretty much just a little bit introduction to Mafia for people that might not know about it so much. Like I say, the last week I have been smashing the pavement. I have been kicking down doors, and I've been making a lot of friends in the process. I am going to be having a few live streams coming up with a few new people. We're kind of waiting for the map upstage, right? Map is coming, and it's coming soon. And there's a lot that I've already planned on, and there's a lot of people I've already spoken to, that when we get closer to map and when map is around, then they choose to enter the game and play the game. Okay, that is all coming, right? That is all coming. I can see, I realistically think we're probably going to have 5 or 6 families that are going to be joining us pretty quickly, actually, pretty quickly. Touch wood, all that sort of stuff, you know, make sure everything works out okay. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of people interested in this game as we start to get a little bit closer. I mean, I can tell you, I mean, I won't bother sharing the page with you guys because a lot of you already know, but Pulse Mafia, the vault is at 6.06 billion pulse. That is pretty cool. I've been sharing around actually on some Twitter posts. I'm pretty sure you guys saw, as Pulse has done this little run, the vault keeps going up and up, right? So the vault actually got to, I think it was about 440,000, 460,000 the other day because Pulse went up. Pulse has had another little pullback, so now we're hovering around the 400,000. But you can see how quickly the vault, it grows in size, right? And just how quickly it does. Pulse had a pretty good run, and the vault was going up tens of thousands of dollars every day, right? Now let's say, for example, right, I think we're about hovering around 400,000 right now. So let's just say Pulse does a 10x this cycle, just a 10x. If Pulse does a 10x, that's $4 million in the vault. We know the vault pays out 10% of its value every single week to the top 5 families, okay? So Pulse does a 10x. Wow, Pulse does a 10x. That's $400,000 that the vault is paying out weekly to 5 families. To 5 families. Those numbers are massive, guys. Massive, absolutely massive. I really believe Mafia is one of these games that you can't afford to miss out, right? There's over 50 different ways to get paid in the Mafia game, right? You can put in as much effort or as little effort as you want to try and do these little tasks. You can literally just buy Mafia token and stake it. Buy Mafia token and stake it away, take an hour supply, and literally just earn that compounding interest every single day, right? You can do that with Mafia. You can join a family, you can kill people. You actually don't even have to join a family to kill people. You can just literally have a lot of fun playing this game, all right? I really, anyone that's watching this, that you might be here because we've chatted over the last week or the last few weeks or the last month or the last 5 months, right? Anyone that's out there, I highly suggest that you have a real deep look into Mafia, because the amount of money that can be made in the cycle with Mafia is absolutely huge. It's huge. It's fantastic money. I always say, I see when Mafia really starts to come out and people start to play this full time, or not full time, but when people start to play this properly, I think people will use this as their main income generator. They will just be playing this game so much that they won't need to do anything else, realistically. Okay, that is what I really truly believe. I just want to have a look, see here, actually, let's I haven't looked at the families today, the family standings, shall we say. I think it's pretty interesting what happens here in Mafia, right? So here we go. That's basically our vault. We can see we've got 6.06 billion, right? So yes, 400,000 in the vault, and we can see here that the main contributor to the vault is the sale of keys, right? This has been the sale of keys for the inventory that we've seen so far, and also this is the inventory. The inventory in such, business items, guns, bullets, health, helper credits, all those sort of things. What will this chart look like when land crates go on for sale, right? When land crates go for sale, I think this game, we're going to see just a boost here. It's just going to go off the radar, right? And because of that, we're going to see the vault is going to explode also. So this 6 billion will be a distant memory by that time, okay? Be an absolute distant memory. These things are going gangbusters. There's a lot of people waiting on the sidelines. In order to get your land crates, you need your keys, right? So literally go and purchase your keys. If you are lucky enough to have Player Plus, you will get airdropped your keys. Well, not airdrop, you actually have to claim your keys, but you get them once a month. There are lots of people that are selling keys on the marketplace. Actually, let's have a quick look at the marketplace right now, and we will see how much these keys are going for. People are selling, look, Molotov cocktails. People are selling the cash, motorbikes. Actually, that looks like a pretty good buy here. We got a level 10 Sam bodyguard for $117 in Mafia token. Interesting. Yeah, so we got game key here. Lots of handguns, more game keys. Someone is selling for basically $5 million in-game cash. Right? Don't forget, so everything that you earn in the game is in-game cash, and then you bridge that out to Mafia token to go back then to the market, right? So that's how that works. We don't exactly have a ratio yet, but we will as we get closer to launch. More game keys here, helper credits, grenades. Yeah, see, people are selling lots and lots. We can see, right, ever since the marketplace went live, if we have a look up here, we can see that so far, $290,000. $290,000 worth of inventory items have been sold on the Mafia marketplace. That basically means that we're the most successful NFT marketplace on Pulse Chain. And it's just in-game for us, right? That in itself screams volumes, guys, absolute volumes. Yeah, wow. That is pretty good. So basically, in order to build up your inventory, you would purchase a crate, right? You purchase the crate, and then from the crate, when you open a crate, you get one of these, right? So you either get cash, bullets, health, shop items, OG NFTs. We'll talk about those again. Noti credits. Basically, that tells you, while you're not around playing the game, it'll sort of give you a notification if something is happening that you need to be aware of for your character. Bodyguards, helper credits, cars, more keys. and Mafia token itself. Right, look at this. So inside these crates, there are still 38 million Mafia tokens up for grabs. Even that in itself is pretty impressive. Right, so basically what you would do, you would open your crate and the first selection would give you one of these categories, right? The second selection will give you from the drop down on these categories. So basically how much of that item you will get. Okay, so there's two different RNG components to that, which I actually think is really interesting. Like I say, map update is coming. It is coming soon, and it is coming pretty quickly as we are now, right? The updates basically have been that that all the backend stuff is done, all the testing is done, pretty much everything, how everything works, how everything is going, how everything connects together, all of that stuff is done. What basically we're waiting on now is just some graphics. Basically the graphics. Every time there's some graphics already, Jacob has a look and says, no, I'm raising the bar. Meet the expectation. You know, he's literally raising the bar every time. Let's make it better. Let's make it better. Let's make it better. That's what we absolutely love. That's what we want, right? We want this game to start, hit the ground running, and absolutely smash it. That's what we want, and I believe that's what we're going to get. You know, let's have a look here on players and families. So currently, family ranks are on PulsePot. Sorry, on Pulse Mafia, the Yakuza are #1 place. They've just broken their $700,000 of worth. The worth is calculated by the different rankings and the different worth of all the members in the family. Okay, plus whatever they have staked in family bank and how much interest they're earning, all that sort of thing. So basically, it makes sense to try and have your family in the top 5. Really, if you want to get this vault payout, it's in the top 5. So we can see here. Look, the Yakuza are #1 spot. They have staked 52 million Mafia tokens away. So the interest that they're earning from the family bank has actually paid them out 114. So they've pretty much doubled the amount, if you like, if the dollar value is, you know, kept. They're actually doing really well, right? So we can see here that they have a little green badge next to where it says vault access. That means that they are going to be paying, they're going to be getting payments from the vault every single week, right? Right now, we can see that they're currently going to be getting 181 million pulse. That is based on the current 6 billion that are in there. As I say, when land crates come on board and people are actually starting to open these land crates to get land, we can see that number is going to skyrocket. Okay, the vault is going to skyrocket, therefore the payouts are going to skyrocket. Okay, so the way it works, the top 5 families get to split 10% of the vault's value every single week, right? It goes in terms of #1 place, we can see here, gets 30%, then second place gets 25%, and then it'll go 20, 15, and 10. Okay, there are places 6, 7, and 8. There's also a conditional payout. So if the vault payout every week is growing, so the amount that the vault pays out every week gets higher and higher, that means obviously we're trending up, we're trending the right way. So places 5, 6, and 7, or sorry, 6, 7, and 8 will get a payment also from the vault, around 5%. Okay, if the vault payouts on a weekly basis are trending down for whatever reason, then those 6, 7, and 8 conditional payouts will not happen. All right, they will not happen. So it makes sense to try and have your family at least in the top 8, but definitely in the top 5. All right, we can see here that we currently have 19 different families, right, at the moment. Some families are working really, really hard. Some families are taking it a bit easy at the moment, obviously because we're waiting for map to come out. We can see that basically from the top 7 families right now, in the top 7 families, there are a number of allegiances going on, right? So we have the directorate are in places #1, 4, and 5. And then we have the Gears of War, who actually hold 1, 3, 6, and 7 place, right? Wow. So it's really a fight between the top 2 over there on Pulse. Actually, we'll go over to BNB in a second. But yes, that's really interesting. That's really interesting. And let's see who's the top player in the whole game at the moment then. So the top player in the whole game is Nunzio. He's from the Salamancas family. And Nunzio's weekly payout will actually be 66 million pulse as it stands at the moment. That's basically from the family that he's in, right? So again, very, very good numbers. And we can see here, look, the Salamancas, the Yakuza, and the Gearheads are controlling a lot of those, really a lot of those spaces. Wow. Let's jump over to BNB. and have a look here, right? So on BNB, we currently have 989 active players, 21 crime families, and the vault over on BNB is currently sitting at 206 BNB, right? 206 BNB is, what's that valued at today? That is valued at $127,000, right? So we can see when Pulse is up a little bit, the combined vaults are pretty much, you know, we're pushing 550. $550,000, by the way. It's like over $500,000. Over $500,000 is up for grabs now, and the game is still in early access. It's still in early access. By the time the full game goes live, who knows what the vault payout is going to be, or what the vault is going to be sitting at. I know GIF has always said between 15 and 20 billion Pulse on the Pulse side. I believe that, and that is huge numbers. That's huge numbers. Wow. Let's just say that's a 3x from where we are now. So that means the vault will be on a good day. And also by that time, Pulse will be going up too. So let's just say the vault is, wow, let's say the vault is $1 million, 800 to $1 million. $1 million is nice. $1 million we'll be paying $100,000 a week. So guys, wow, now look at this, right? This is over on BNB. So on BNB, we can see here that for a long time, it was actually the taxes. So the taxes from the purchase of Mafia tokens itself was the main contributor to the marketplace. And then I think that's when the marketplace probably went live, or when the business items were being shifted around, and we saw a massive boost. So again, we can see there's the sale of keys on Mafia are actually the highest value over there. Interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. So I want to go and have a look at I want to go and have a look at the marketplace on BNB and see what kind of things are up for sale. I don't know what's lagging here. Okay, so we've got, well, there's a shop item open. Lucky is selling a shop item. Lucky is also selling a roulette table. There is a booze warehouse. See, these are the business items in Mafia that we're talking about, right? So if you, for example, our family and Palermo is your headquarters, you want that shop item for your family. You do. If you are an individual player and you're lucky enough to have one of these business items, then it is up to your skill of negotiation to either sell it to the family or find out some way that maybe you can loan it to the family, right? Because, you know, if the family would need it in their area, you would also get some interest off of that, maybe. You know, so really there's a lot of different ways to play this. The roulette table in Chicago is up for $1,100. I would say that some of the Chicago headquartered families would want that. Booze warehouse in Caracas, and then we have some of the other business lines that we were talking about. Okay, so we can see here that there is a Douglas M3 plane, which is for sale $150 in BNB, bulletproof suit, some machine guns, Molotov cocktails, grenades, bullets, and again, keys, right? Remember, keys are essential to opening up crates, whether it's crates for these inventory items or whether it's crates for your land tiles, right? You will need keys to open all of those. So that's pretty good. That's pretty interesting so far. Now let's jump over and have a look at the players. Who are the main players over on this side? Okay, so on Pulse, we saw that the Yakuza are number one. The Yakuza are part of the Directorate, right? The Directorate is a group of I think four or five families. And we can see here over on BNB, the Syndicate are actually in number one place, and they are still part of the Directorate. Okay, so the Directorate holds first place on both chains so far. So the Syndicate have a total value of 233,000 worth at the moment. And we can see over here, so BNB, on the BNB side, they have 116 million Mafia tokens staked. I think, what was it over on Pulse? It was like 52 million, I think. And we can see, again, they're in top spot, so they're guaranteeing themselves a weekly payout from the vaults when it goes live. And at the moment, that payout is going to be 6 BNB, right? 6.2 BNB. Obviously, as the vault starts to rise again through the sale of land crates, the vault gets bigger, the payouts get bigger, BNB rises, the payouts also get larger. Okay, so we can see about that. So then we have the Syndicate, we have the original gangsters, who are in second place. They also have an alliance, right? So we can actually see that the OG Alliance has places number 2, 3, 5, 7, and 8, and the directorate have 2 spaces. Then we have a family with no affiliations at the moment, right? So we have the Mugnows. Now, whether there is a lot of backdoor conversations going on and a lot of different things happening, we will wait and see. For sure, there are, right? Literally, with this Mafia game, the majority of this Mafia game is actually played off the site, right? It's people in the telegrams that are having conversations. It's people that are literally on calls with each other, trying to do deals. So if you are considering starting a family, you can play your family dynamics out of the game if you like, right? You know, sit across the table, have your secret meetings, all of that good stuff. And then when the time is right, you can pounce on the game, pounce on the other players, and wipe them out. Now, if we talk about the future of Mafia, it has already been said, it's already been announced that this is going to be on other chains also, okay? At the moment, I know Base and Solana have been pigeonholed, right? Base is the new up-and-comer. There's a hell of a lot of TVL, a hell of a lot of traffic over there. I think this game will actually do very, very well over there, okay? Solana, I'm not sure about personally, just because I think he's breaking. So I think we have to wait and see about that, right? But also because Solana is, you know, it's not EVM, it's completely, it's its own language, it's written in its own language. So it might be a little bit more difficult to launch on that, but it'll take time. But the idea is when Chainlink announced their CCIP, which means basically cross-chain interoperability, then a player on Pulse will be able to play against players on Base or on BNB, right? That bridge will allow literally entire families to go and raid entire families over another side. So if you think about when that starts to expand, and you take in all the sizes of all the families and all the players in all the games and all the vaults across the way, there's going to be a hell of a lot of money. I mean, I'm no exaggeration now. I'm not financial advice, obviously. I'm just thinking, but my guess, my educated guess would be, you know, vault payouts in the millions every week to the top 5 families. It makes sense to pool your resources and get in now while this is in early access. Okay. If it's a thing you want to reach out to me because you have any questions, you absolutely can. You can reach out to me on X. It is at KvltDeFi. You can reach out to me here on YouTube. It is pretty much KvltDeFi, and on Telegram it is again KvltDeFi, KvltDeFi. Okay. If you have any questions about any of the protocols on the DevJacob ecosystem, you can reach out to me. There's no such thing as a silly question. I will answer whatever I can. If there's a question that I personally can't answer, I will do my best to find the answer for you. It's kind of that simple. Okay. I have a couple of calls later on this evening with some new families who are going to be coming on board, and we're going to be having a chat about basically the best strategy for newer families that are coming on board. Whether it's you know, come out of the gate, build up your inventory, try and do an alliance, right? So align yourself with some of the stronger families, or whether it's literally go alone, you know, just brace for impact and go alone. When the game launches, that is another option. So literally, we have to, you know, I have to help these guys kind of decide what is the best strategy coming on board. If you are interested in joining a family, you already have a character, maybe you're building up an inventory and you want to join a family, go into the telegrams, which are in the banner. Go into the telegrams and ask questions. Okay. Pretty much all of the families are actively recruiting, right? Some families have a real in-depth interview process, so go down that route. If it's a thing that you know, you can't find a family that fits you, but you want to take advantage of the benefits of being in a family, start your own family. New families are popping up all the time. Okay, and as the game starts to progress and go and build, and you know, we start to see further down the line, 18 months from now, 2 years from now, 5 years, 10 years from now, families will come and go, players will come and go. You know, whether they get killed in the game or whether people just take all the resources and they just kind of give up. But in the meantime, the amount of money that can be made in this game should absolutely be not overlooked, right? I cannot overstate it enough, because I look at things, the longer term vision. Okay, I showed you that chart of PLSP earlier. I don't really look at charts that much. Obviously, I look to check on the price of a few certain assets, but generally, I think it's way too early to be looking at all that stuff. When I know the plans that are coming, and you know, we have a bunch of different projects from Jacob right now. All of them will get their focus as we move forward. You know, all of them will get focus as we move forward. But really, there isn't a rush. If you know what I mean, there isn't a rush. You just kind of have to sit back and watch how it unfolds. There's a lot of things. Look, if you want to make money in crypto, there are opportunities every single day. I mean, I would absolutely suggest you maybe go and have a look at Wrapped BTC over on Pulse Chain. Okay, literally, I think it's done 5 or 6x in the last week again, because it's just getting spoken about. Right, go and have a look at these types of things. Right, if you want strong, you know, if you are one of the Hex community, you know about delayed gratification, you know about grabbing hold of something and holding on tight for the long term. That's the way I look at these things. These are long-term games, long-term plays. Make money in the meantime, of course. We all have to survive. But it's by having a strategy, putting it in place, and riding out the storm. That's where you're going to make your big wins, right? I see we have Tintop in the house. How are you doing, Tintop? Thanks very much for being here. I haven't spoke to you since the Tyson fight, right? You jumped on stream for the Tyson fight. You were on with me. That was really good. Actually, I really enjoyed that. That was a long night, and it crashed Netflix. That was also kind of interesting. Crashed Netflix. Okay, so that is the families that are there. Let's have a look at the players. Let's have a look who's the strongest player over on. Okay, so Bob Tiller the Hun from the Original Gangsters is still the top player over on BNB, right? He has quite a large lead, actually in front of second player, and second player, Bob believes, second player is letting him keep the top spot just for a little while. So that's kind of interesting to see. But when these land crates go on sale, that's when we're going to see. That's when we're going to see a lot of movement, right? Really, a lot of movement. I think it's quite interesting what we're going to see happen. Okay, I want to show you this last one thing, but we will get to it in a moment. Okay, so look, if you're here for the first time, like and subscribe to the channel. Okay, I have changed up this time. Anyone that's watching now, I've changed this up. I'm going to keep it at this at least for a few weeks, so we can see what's going on, right? But really, I want to see, like I say, I want to see through the analytics how this does in comparison to the other ones, not just literally the amount of audience I get now, but also with the replay gang, because like I say, the American audience will just be waking up now, and they'll already have posts about this replay, so they can literally watch it sooner rather than later, right? Get those numbers up. What is Tintop is saying? He said, you doing the BitBoy fight coming up? I'm pretty sure we will, because we did the first one, right? I even streamed the first one. It was actually the very first stream I think I ever did was the BitBoy fight, and we've learned a lot since then. But yeah, very interesting. For sure we will. Also, the Tyson Usyk fight, another interesting one. Again, I think that'll be a big fight. Very, very big fight. So lots of good things happening. So I want to let you guys, again, I want to talk about expectations a little bit, right? Because having a dev team that are so prolific with projects, right? It's like Jacob has thousand ideas. And you know, there are certain times that will be best to drop these ideas, make them work, get them out there, get the projects out there. Even the little uptick, I don't say little uptick, I mean it's quite a big uptick, right? But the uptick that we've seen on BNB a couple of weeks ago, the uptick that we've seen now this last week on PLSP, the uptick in the interest that we're getting around Predict. I'm talking to a lot of people about Predict. People actually really like Predict. The amount of interest that we're getting about Mafia, the amount of people that are, you know, that are very, very, very interested really in posting USD, PUSD algo. Obviously, we all want everything at once, right? You know, we all want it now, right? Now with the bull market is slowly starting, we want it now. Numbers are going up. We want to take advantage of all that sort of stuff. we need to sort of be realistic ourselves, right? As holders, I'm a holder too, like, you know, as holders, we need to be realistic with ourselves and say, okay, is it better to concentrate on one thing at a time, or is it better to chip away at a few different things and hope that everything rises, right? I mean, I'm a big proponent of do one thing, do it right, move on to the next one. Do one thing, do it right, move on to the next one, right? And I think that's the way we're going to have to look at Mafia. I can tell you, again, let's talk about the reasons that a lot of the protocols are held up is because we don't have an Oracle out yet. We don't have the infrastructure that we need to launch a lot of these other things. So make hay while the sun shines, and that's what Mafia is getting focus, right? We are going to be using Signum Oracle. Signum Oracle is not out yet. As a matter of fact, the audits are not back yet, according to the Telegram chat. I was looking in the Telegram. The audits are not back, but like I said, I spoke to Stu a couple of weeks ago. Stu told me no major red flags, everything is fine. So literally just waiting, right? So that is happening. Once that comes out, once we have the RNG components, and once the map update is done, we will start to make other plans about next phases of the game, right? The map itself on Mafia is so big. There's going to be so many moving parts and so much to do that it kind of doesn't really matter about when the full game goes live at that stage, because there's going to be so much stuff to do to make sure that you are playing the game correctly, you're set up for success. Also making money. People are going to be making money. People are making a lot of money on the marketplace already, and there's people are going to be making a hell of a lot more when land goes for sale. So all of those things, right? Again, you can play the casino projects right now. We're actually, I know this. I see it, a vision. I see as soon as numbers start to go up across Pulse Chain and BNB starts to rise, and we're starting to get a lot more, you know, retail coming in, a lot more new people coming into the blockchain, having a look around where they want to spend their money. Oh, they'll spend it on some gambling sites, they'll spend it on some casino projects, they'll spend it on this, they'll spend it on that. Numbers are going to go up, guys. Numbers are going to go up. And at the same time, that's already done. Mafia is going to be rising too. Mafia is going to be getting ready for launch too. So there's still a lot of things you can do, and there's a lot of ways you can actually play this game, right? Again, POSC Algo, I think, is the one which everyone really should be looking at. Huge innovation, really huge innovation, and it's coming around. I will drop this here if it's something that you want to look at. If you are going to look into POSC Algo, go to pulsechainosd.io, and when you're in there, have a look through all the documentation, go around on YouTube, do your research, really do your research, right? You're big boys and girls, do your research, right? Do your research for yourself. And in the meantime, you can come back and ask me anything you want, okay? I will drop this referral link in the chat here. Basically, what this allows you to do is to get a 20% bonus on whatever you decide to sacrifice, right? For an algorithmic stablecoin which fixes all the problems that plague algorithmic stablecoins, okay? If you use that, you will get a 20% bonus on whatever you sacrifice. If you sacrifice more than $1,000, you get a secondary, which is up to a 2x on top of that, okay? So think about that, work your own numbers on that one, right? In the meantime, you need keys. You need keys to get the land crates on Mafia, okay? That is really where it is. That's what it is. You need keys to get land on Mafia. There's going to be a massive land rush. Get the land, even if you just want to get the land just to potentially put it on the marketplace after. That is probably the best non-financial advice I can give you concerning Mafia. Create your characters, join a family, or create a family, build up your inventory, start buying land. Start buying land, because there's going to be a stage where they're not making it anymore. And that's kind of it from me, boys and girls. I want to thank you all for joining me on this one. I know the time is thrown off, but as I said, we're going to continue to do this for a while, purely because I want to see the analytics. I want to see what kind of works. If it's a thing that the larger audiences and all that sort of stuff want me to do it again in midnight, I mean, I will. This is really about driving everything forward. I am here basically to try and elevate the game for everybody, okay? So if it's a thing you want to jump on stream with me, let's do it. If it's a thing you want to have a look at any of the DevJacob ecosystem protocols, reach out and we can talk about it. If it's a thing you want to work out the best strategy you can for yourself playing Mafia, look down here in the banner, because in the banner there's a website, www.mafia-hq.com. That was set up by one of the, but basically by Capone Archie, who is the Don of the Directorate Group of Families. What that website allowed you to do, it teaches you how to be the best Mafia player, in-game player you can. Okay. The Wikipedia, or sorry, the wiki page, the game wiki on the website, on BNB Mafia and on Pulse Mafia on the website, that teaches you what the game is and how the game works. Okay. If you want to be the best possible player you can be, mafia-hq.com. Okay. If you really like what I do and you want to help out the channel a little bit, because obviously I'm not monetized for this, you can make donations to what is it? It's KvltDeFi.pls.fyi, right? That is a Pulse domain. If you don't have a Pulse domain, go out and get one. Get your Pulse domain, so you don't have to send people really long contract addresses. All you have to do is literally just send them a name, right? But if you don't want to mess around with Pulse domains, there is also the address in the description. Okay, so literally everything that gets sent goes towards helping the channel. It means I can dedicate more time to this. I can dedicate more time to you guys. I can upgrade things as we go, and we can make this ship all singing, all dancing, right? So guys, that is kind of it from me. I will see you all in the next cartoon, I suppose. Good luck.
Gifford Ware, it's an honor. Gifford Ware, it's an honor.
Got an anonymous tip, boss.
This is it. We stage the heist tonight.
And keep an eye on Kool-Aid. He's been known to water the plants.
Let's keep the plants out of this and focus on the job.
All right, Johnny, I'm sorry.
Keep that change, you filthy animal.